The following podcast contains jokes and laughter, but we want to make it clear that humor is never at the expense of the victims or the tragedies discussed. If you enjoy a blend of comedy and true crime, you found your podcast. However, if you're easily offended, this might not be the right fit for you, and that's perfectly okay. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome back, y'all. So, we have a bonus episode, and this is a big thank you to you all for us hitting 10,000 streams. And just a FYI, thank y'all because we did hit our goal, and your girl get a new wig, courtesy of Willie. But, anywho, before you listen to this bonus episode, make sure you go back and listen to episode 8, which is Solomon Leviticus Stinson, because if you did not listen to that episode, you're going to completely miss what is going on here. So make sure that you listen to that episode and then come back and listen to the bonus episode. We hope you enjoy and don't forget to give us your feedback. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. So this is a bonus episode. Welcome back to Melanin Mysteries. Y'all know we real messy over here and we talk, we give the facts, and we got the laugh. So this is a bonus episode. We got something totally different for y'all. So remember the case that we did about Solomon Stinson and Noni? Yes.
Yes.
So we got to hear about Noni's side of the story. And I always say there's three sides to every story. There's his side, her side, and the truth. And unfortunately, Solomon is not here to give his side of the story. So we got the next best thing. His high school sweetheart is here, and she gonna give us what really happened. Because
Exactly. I'm excited. So
I'm
of
very
course introduce yourself. Who are you? Not you. No, not you. Not you. Tiffany. What's it? Tiffany, introduce yourself.
Oh yeah,
your host,
duh. I always forget to do that. I'm
Jeez.
Tiffany.
Yes, and I'm your co-host Willie. So here we go. Go ahead, Tiffany. Well, no, before we do that, man, how are you doing today, Miss Bryce? You ain't doing this, right? How you doing
good.
today?
I'm good. I'm wonderful.
Wonderful. That's what's up. So where you where you from? Where you not from, but where you live at right now?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, damn. So you down there with the scientists and all that craziness, huh?
Yeah,
Are you
unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, you like it down there?
I do.
Born and raised?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Again, my name is Tamla Brox. I am the high school sweetheart of Solomon Stinson, and we have a daughter together, Dejanay Stinson, who is now 31. At the time Noni murdered her father, she was 12, just shy of 13. And of course, Noni's a pathological liar, and I'm here to tell what I know, and these are facts.
Okay, you said you the truth. She said it's two sides to every story.
Mm-hmm.
Hers and hers. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So tell us about you said you was his high school sweetheart. So how did that work out? You guys what grade was it when you guys met? Tell us all. We want all this. We want all the juice.
Well, we went to Robert E. Lee, so we started dating in the 10th grade, and we dated outside of high school, and we just grew apart, but we were still really good friends. Um, because we had a daughter together, and we were good friends. And then when he started dating Noni, he kind of like withdrew, and he wasn't allowed to talk to me anymore.
Oh, so she cut that whole situation off, like even though y'all had a child? Like,
Yes, I had to go through her. I couldn't talk to him. I had to go through her.
see, I don't like that. Like when lead a situation. We got good co-parenting with our kids. Like, let that be.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long were you guys together?
We were together 10, 11. We probably were together 8 years.
Oh, well, y'all got for 8 years. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. 8 years it didn't. So one thing I don't understand, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? This when the end coming out. I saw your picture, right? You fine. I'm gonna just throw it out there, right? You are. Why did and then I saw her picture and I'm like, what was he thinking? Like, why?
Well, see, here's the deal. When he first started dating Noni, for whatever reason, she told him that her family had money and she had all this money. So he was thinking, okay, I'm dating somebody with money, and didn't know she didn't have a damn thing
Oh, the bait and switch. Got
because
him.
she
You
looked
know
like
what? And she
she
did
looked like
mention
a
that she
ugly
didn't have.
man.
She do. That's why I said I saw your picture and I saw her. I'm like, what the fuck was he thinking? So with that being said, give us some information on him. Tell us about Solomon because we really
Couldn't
when we
find
did our research, we
anything.
really didn't have that much information on that man at all. Like it was very limited. So can you give us some information on him?
Um, he
What you know, of course.
yeah, I mean, he was he. We all know he was a street. He was a street guy, and that's part of the reason I wasn't with him because that's not the life I want to live. I mean, and that's the life she want to live. She wanted to be a down chick. I'm not gonna be a down chick because you know. And even when he at his murder trial, the detective told us he was like, even if he wouldn't have been murdered, he was going down for drugs because he was probably one of the biggest drug dealers in Jacksonville.
Okay, that's the next question I was going to ask. Yeah, go. Okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
So, you know, he was a nice guy, but again, she isolated him from everybody. His family probably couldn't tell you they even talked to him.
So was she? So I forgot. If you kind of refresh my memory, was she? They were the same age. Was she older than him? Younger than him?
I think she's old. Yeah, she may be older than him.
Okay.
Yeah, she may be older than him.
Okay, and I'm assuming you guys didn't get along whatsoever because she kind of kept him away from you and his daughter.
I mean, I didn't really deal with her. I mean, I didn't really like her, but at one point I was like, okay, I sent my daughter over there probably for the summer. You go, since you making all this money, you take your daughter for the summer since she want to be mom, let her be mom. And my daughter was there, and then she would call me and be like, oh, she went and told her dad lies. She told her dad. And my daughter told me, she wrote it down. She said, mom, she take me to see her ex-boyfriend Devin all the time. And and she told Solomon, and then she was like, oh, she's lying, she's lying, she's trying to break up my marriage. And so he
So
was like, well, I think it's best she come back home. Okay.
oh, wow. So that's crazy because, like, from what she, because I found an inmate blog that she wrote, and what she said was like pretty much like complete opposite of what you're saying. Like, he isolated her, and it was domestic violence. But to take your child and to see an ex and to isolate him, that's so crazy to me.
And everybody knew he was on his way of leaving her because she was stealing money from him, like stealing money and whatever else. And he found out, and he was about to leave her. And I honestly think that's why she murdered him, because she couldn't afford that house they was in.
Oh, was
Because it
it a
was in a
big
real
house?
nice neighborhood, right?
It was a really nice house. And matter of fact, when she shot him, he ran down the driveway and he was laying in the road, like in the fetal position, moaning. And the neighbor's a white guy, his dog was barking. So he looked out the window and seen him out there moaning, and he called 911.
So
Mhm.
since you brought that up, so do you remember? So let's talk about that particular day, right? What do you know about the day of the murder? Like, I'm assuming you went to the trial, or you, talked to. I don't know if you talked to whoever you talked to, but what do you remember of that actual day?
So
Well, what do you know of it?
So I'm really good friends with his friends. So they told me he used to sit on he had a little house that he sat at, and they said he sat there all day and he was like looking worried. And then they was like, you good? And he was like, yeah, I'm about to leave her, and I got my son, and whatever. And he goes home. He didn't So he had this car when butterfly doors first came out. He got out the car. As soon as he got out the car, she shot him basically in the top of the head, and then shot him again. So he didn't have time to. And then she tried to shoot him a third time, and the gun jammed, so he ran down the driveway.
Mm.
Mm.
And so she tried to say, "Oh, he tried to fight me." And so in court, they showed pictures of their garage. They had a two-car garage with bicycles and everything. His fingerprints. She said she was running around both their cars. His fingerprints wasn't nowhere on her car, and none of the stuff was knocked down. So we know that he wasn't chasing you. And then you let the garage down. You went back in the house, hid the gun under the sink, and changed your clothes, and then got the gun back from under the sink and hid it in your son baby wipes.
That shit crazy. So did you actually go to the trial? Were you there at the trial?
Every day.
Wow. Did you still love him?
I loved
Girl,
him as far.
you go ahead. You can tell the truth, girl. Look, I can tell. Look, I hear the passion in your voice. You still love that nigga.
Now,
Come
I loved him as far as we got a daughter together, but it could have never been a relationship unless he
Did
would have
y'all used to
changed.
did y'all used to mess around?
Oh my
No.
God.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna ask the questions. I mean, he can't
What in
answer them.
this? We can't take your ass nowhere.
No,
So you mean
absolutely
I'm
not.
just saying? So the whole time,
After he messed with her, I wouldn't even touch that with.
yeah, you
No.
wouldn't because yeah, after seeing
Eh,
she was looking somewhat like a little man. I wouldn't. I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't did
And
it
this
either.
lady was, and you knew she had did it. So she went to pick out his casket with his mom and his brother, and they said she told the people, "Oh, give me the cheapest casket, cause the insects gonna eat him up anyway."
Right, and did
Damn.
wait, and I saw in the thing like she buried him really, really
Yeah,
quickly.
I think it was
Yeah.
like on a Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
Like
she
2 days.
killed him. Yeah, because she was like, "Oh, I knew he was messing around with all these women, and I don't want them to show up to the funeral." And she sat there at the funeral and like fake cried the whole time.
Damn. Did you want? I know you want to beat her ass. Be honest.
I mean, and then after the funeral at the repast or whatever, when I tell you she was dancing and, "Oh, I'm going to get a boob job and I'm leaving Jacksonville."
What?
Yeah, she had already planned because if I could pull a clip up, I was trying to on News for Jax. It showed her and her mama toting suitcases out the house, and we all know it probably was suitcases full of his money.
So he was okay. So he was big time like that to the point suitcases of money. But let's back up. You didn't answer the question. Did you want to beat her ass?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, she walk out the doors, I think, in 7 years. Like the other day, her daughter posted something. They got a petition going on. So I commented on Facebook and I got into it with her daughter. And she was like, "Oh, he used to beat my mom. He was beating my mama that night." I said, "Don't forget, when you was like 8 or 9 years old, you got on the stand and you told the truth that night. That's part of the reason why your mama was found guilty, because he wasn't beating her." So she blocked me and everything and told me I was old and miserable. Uh, well,
What?
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
my!
and I get that's her mom, but like, right is right at the end of the day. Nobody wants to see their parents locked up, but shoot, right is right. Like, you still took that man from his kids.
and then her daughter reached out to my daughter probably like a year or so ago and said, "Hey, can you talk to my mom's lawyer to kind of get her time cut?" Like, you want
I would
my
have been
daughter.
like, bitch.
Right.
So, do they get kids together now? Because I'm sorry,
Yeah,
forgive me.
they
I'm
did. They had
the
a
little
son
boy,
together,
right?
right?
Allegedly, but
Oh,
Oh, that may
allegedly.
not be his
Ooh.
baby.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
goddamn.
yeah.
So, wait, it's the little
So
boy, right?
it's the little boy, because he got another little boy, and his other little boy, me and his mom cool. We talk all the time, like I sent her this, and me and Kobe, we very cool, like we tight, like. But so this was she did. So she was in jail for murder. So her mama had custody of her son. So she called the social security office and said, "Hey, he only got this one child, no more kids." So her son, probably for a year or so, collected all the social security, which wasn't but 697, and it should have been split between, three ways, but her son was collecting it. That's how nasty they was. You knew he
Damn.
right.
And I
She
remember she
foul. And
said that
let
she
me tell
didn't
you.
deal with her mom at all, which is crazy when you told me that she, like, her and her mom. And I'm like, but wait, everything she read, that every article she posted, she said she didn't deal with her mom at
But that's
all.
the first person she called. She said it on the stand, and her mom got on the stand, and they said, did she tell you she killed him?" She said, "Yes, but I felt like," her exact words, "I didn't feel like I was compelled to tell, because when I walked in the police station, I seen the detectives high-fiving each other like, yeah, got her." So I didn't feel like I had to tell.
That's
What? And that
wow.
just shows you how crooked
Hmm.
people really are.
So
That really
how did your daughter take it?
I mean, she's still, right now she's 31. She hides a lot of stuff, but she does good for herself. She really does. She took it hard. She still has her moments where she goes and sits at the cemetery, but you know, she she does good. She did 9 years in the military. She on 100% disability. She work a
Okay.
civilian job making $35 an hour, and she in school to be a surgical tech. She has no kids, and she travels and she lives her life.
oh,
Wow,
that's
there you
good.
go.
That's
Yes, that's a
good.
blessing right there.
Mhm.
Right.
That is. So yeah, I remember they were talking about doing a little thing to free her, and I was like, that would be the stupidest shit in the world. Do you know she be? Are you aware that she writes like these little blog things or like
Oh
diary
yeah, and
things?
I try to go on them and comment and all these people. I'm like, no, she wasn't. He might have did. I mean, who's to say he didn't? But this one wanted to be a. I mean, you would have had to see her. She wanted to be a down chick. She thought she was like bowdy and all this other stuff. She walked like a man. She looked like a man. And I used to say, now what the world you see in her? She is terrible.
Yeah, I know. I saw the picture. I couldn't believe it, man. That bitch. Yeah, she don't she looked very handsome. I'll say that.
Yeah, and he left her one time before. He was living in some apartments, and she had her boyfriend at the time, Devin, because she would go from Devin to Solomon, kick his door down, break in, and steal money and jewelry and all that from him. It.
That's crazy. And I
Yeah.
don't understand. I mean, if the relationship was that toxic and if supposedly quote unquote whooping your ass, which I mean, I don't know. That's what she said. Just leave the like. So
Yeah, just
about her,
leave.
what do you like? What do you know about her? Like, was she? I mean, I know you said she wanted to be down and all that good shit.
Well,
Like, what?
they claim now that when y'all said that her brother was molesting her, that was the first I ever heard of that. But on the stand, they did say her brother committed suicide, and she walked in and found him or whatever. But I don't even know that to be true because she's a pathological liar.
And the
She
thing
just a
was, she did say that she's a liar because that when I was reading through her blog, that kind of really made me look at her sideways because her story sounded good, like dang, maybe she is the victim of domestic violence. But then when she kind of said she was a pathological liar, and she's like, well, it came from the trauma, and I'm just kind of like, that really put it on the fence because I'm like, so what did you what's real and what's not? And it's hard when people continuously lie to you. It's like when we were little, or they say don't cry wolf because we don't know what the hell to believe.
Yeah, we like she said she found the condom in the truck. Her daughter got on the stand and said, you know, it was no condom in the truck. Just like this man had all these money, clothes, everything. You know what his kids got? Nothing. So everybody was like, well, what happened to everything? She let her ex-boyfriends and everybody else come over there and take whatever they wanted, and then
Oh,
she had a nerve when she went to jail. uh yeah, she sent my daughter $100 from jail, like when she first went to jail, and she
that's
thought that was gonna be okay.
that's crazy, man. Like, oh damn. So wow. So do you talk to his son at all? The one who shared a birthday with him?
That's Kobe's son. Yeah, I do talk
Okay,
to
that's Kobe.
Javon.
Okay.
Yeah, so anytime his family, like his brother and his wife, had an anniversary party, they invite me to the anniversary parties. I mean, I still talk to his family. My daughter choose not to talk to his family. She like, yeah, I don't want to be bothered with them
I
people, so
get
she don't
no.
talk
Yeah.
to him at all. But yes, I still talk to his family. His son that got has the same birthday as him. I mean, me and his mom talk all the time. We go to the same nail salon and we see each other all the time.
Okay. So what? I mean, this would be my last question. Like, what would you want people to know about Solomon? I mean, because again, the image that she portrayed on painted was, I mean, drug dealer, womanizer, and woman beater. But I mean, that obviously there's something that you see. You know what I'm saying? Because I could tell from the passion in your voice that you have. What would you like?
I
that
I
view
mean,
our
I would
listeners
want
to.
people to know that he wasn't the bad guy she making him out to be. He didn't beat her like she making it out to be. Like, no, because you could have easily left that night. You had plenty of times to leave. Like, this man would be going on every on his birthday. He would leave for trips. You had plenty of times to leave, but you didn't want to leave. You make like you really didn't know he was a drug dealer, but nobody in that house had a job. You didn't go to work, so who you thought was paying all the bills?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Wow.
then you lied about it. Like, when you first called 911, all you said was, um you hear gunshots. You never said, and then but then all of a sudden, and my husband didn't come in, and the 911 man was like, well, why didn't you say that initially? Like, you just lied. And if you would have seen her at the funeral just fake crying, and then when they was lowering his body, she jumps up with a folded piece of paper and put it in his coat pocket. So he had these friends, and these friends was not playing with her. They walked over to the car she was sitting in. They opened the door and they said, "Bitch, you need to tell us what the fuck happened." And they was
See,
like,
now we talking. Now we talk. Get to the juice, girl. This is the
"Yes,
part we looking for.
yes." And they was like, and they asked my daughter, "Was you there that night? What happened?" Because I I really think jail saved her, because she had some people that wanted to get to her.
Mm.
And then her daughter tells me why on Facebook, oh, my brother lost both his parents and ain't nobody thinking about him. I'm like, your mom gets to walk out of jail in about 7 years. What
Yeah,
do you
she is.
mean?
Yeah, she is getting out soon,
In
man.
about
And
seven
so,
years.
is it on site when you see her?
Oh, I think my daughter I think my daughter gonna handle that. We have to talk her and her brother down, because what they be saying is like, yeah, don't
I
just
don't
let
get.
her
I don't
go.
care. She changed her life. She could be a Muslim with a
Yeah,
kufi on, all that. Whoop her ass.
but she got in trouble in jail for fighting. So this
Oh
who
yeah, I
she
think she
thinks.
wrote. I think she. I think she put that in her little blog thing.
And then
Yeah,
she
she
like,
said she
oh,
finished up.
so she would try to like take it back to trial, and she wouldn't think we would know, but we would find out. So his his other son's mom, Kobe, she lives in Orlando, but she drives down. So she would call me, hey, she trying to take it back to trial. So I would show up in court. When she walk out the door and see me, she would just look like, why this bitch here? She like, I hate this
That's what I
bitch.
was. Yes,
Why she
that's what I was
always
going.
here?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. When she got that retrial, do you like how did you feel when she got that? Remember they gave her the within the retrial they
Yeah.
She
Cause
got
yeah
they
the
yeah
messed up
appeal.
some paperwork. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean,
How did that make you feel?
I always feel like every time she get a retrial, every time she get a lawyer, like she gonna walk, because his mama don't say enough to me. Because if that was my son, I'm not gonna let him go down and her keep saying, oh, he just beat her ass and he deserve all this time. Like I told her daughter, every vlog I see, everything I see, I'm going on there and I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna take, because y'all liars. And she
Damn.
like, well, I'm gonna advocate for my mom. I said, well, I'm gonna advocate for him, because
Amen.
her daughter got on the stand and told the truth of what happened that night, because she was young, she didn't know, but now all of a sudden you advocating for your mama. I said, and then she was like, you old miserable. I said, honey, you look just like your mammy. You look older than me. I'm 49. You ugly as
Tell
fuck.
us that she must ain't seen your picture, okay? She ain't seen your picture because that she want to talk about somebody ugly nigga. It's her mama the one that look like Gucci. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? So
like a
yeah,
ugly man, and she looked just like her mom. And I said, let's talk about how when your grandma figured out she couldn't get Social Security, because she tried to also get it for her daughter, and she knew it wasn't his. So she sent you away with your daddy, and she kept little Solomon because she could collect money for him. So she didn't even want you, because her mom is like this. Her mom was driving a Range Rover, and her mom marries men with a lot of money. This what they do. They go after the money.
Oh.
Yeah. Hmm.
damn, Tiffany, you can't even get you a man.
You know what?
She come to
It's
Jacksonville
just,
and get her one.
exactly. They getting niggas with Land Rovers and Range Rovers and shit. God damn, you
Yes.
need to move to Florida.
You know what?
Yes.
We gonna have a private conversation about this. I'm so tired of you throwing me under the bus. I don't want to date. I am very happy right now. Leave me alone, sweet
I know,
Jesus.
but no,
Yes.
I so is there anything else you want? Anything else you want to say? Like, number one, I definitely appreciate you taking the time, man. We
I
definitely gonna
I
invite you back. We got to. Real
I
talk.
just want I just wanted to say known as a pathological liar, a pathological liar. And y'all probably need to invite me back because the day she walk out, I'll be waiting at the gate.
Oh shit, we gonna be there. We gonna be there right there
Shoot, we
with you.
might be
Yeah,
right
because
there with.
you're a pathological liar. And you are what you are, and you not gonna make him look bad just for you to walk. You killed him in cold blood because you walked out there with a gun, and then you tried to shoot him a third time. The gun jammed. He ran in the street. He was running, but he didn't have a chance because the bullet tore his insides up. But when the rescue got there, they was like, "Do you know who shot you?" And he pointed at the house.
Oh, see, they left that part out.
They
They didn't
did.
Yeah,
get to
they're
say his
right.
name.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't. You're right. I don't even remember that part. So
No,
yeah, they left that out.
that wasn't documented anywhere. They just said that they asked him his name and he was able to give them his name, but it didn't say anything about.
Yeah. They said,
Yeah.
and the white dude was like, he was on laying on the ground moaning, and his dog was barking, and he called 911, but it, yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Oh, well, we definitely gonna invite you. We definitely gonna invite you back on the show. Is there anything else you got, Mrs. Tiffany?
No, I say we just really want to say thank you for shedding light on that, and that, like, I really hope she gets what's coming to her, because like that's just, it's one thing to be, running from your abuser, but if the evidence presents otherwise and you killed that man in cold blood, like I just have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And like I always said, if he was beating you, I mean, all the times you claim he beat you, why you didn't kill him then? You wait till he was getting out of the car because he was on his way to leaving you. He found out that you were stealing money from him, like stealing money.
Mm. And that's sad though, and I believe, and I'll say this, and I'm done. I believe everybody deserves a second chance, but only once you accept responsibility for the stuff you did, and the fact that she's still trying to lie and say it's, he did this and did that, proves that she's not remorseful and proves that she
Mm-mm.
hasn't accepted any responsibility. And then people like that, they do not deserve to be free because it just lets you know their mind frame, and they'll do some shit like that again. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Real
Oh,
talk.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's
Because
why you got to beat her ass when she get out. Make sure it don't
oh,
happen.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you all for having me on, and yeah, let me tell you that she's a pathological liar.
All right, man. Well, we definitely appreciate it. Go ahead, take us out, Mrs. Tiffany.
All
All right,
right.
thank you.
You welcome. We'll talk to you soon.
All righty, bye bye.
So, whew, y'all heard that story. Like we
Yeah, that
said,
was
there's
good.
always more. They say there's three sides to a story, and like I said, Solomon unfortunately is not here to tell his side. But woo child,
I know
like I
that's
say,
a lot.
love should not come with a life sentence. So make sure y'all choose freedom and not felonies.
Yes, enjoy this. Enjoy this episode, and go back and listen to the original episode. Also, the
It
original
was episode
episode,
8.
episode 8. Thank you. All
Mhm.
right, we out.